What's up, guys, and welcome to Family Worship. Whether it's your first time here or your first time here in a long time, we're really glad that you're going to read, pray, and sing with us together as a family. You know, our heart with this is that it's a time for parents to talk about the gospel with their kids in the home, so we're really glad that you're here. I heard a story recently that I wanted to pass on. There was a boy, and he was at dinner with his family, and if your dinner table is anything like mine, there's a lot of times where there's some questions being asked that we just don't want to talk about while we're trying to eat, okay? And this boy had one of those questions. He was like, Mom, are bugs good to eat? And she was like, son, we don't talk about eating bugs at dinner. He's like, but Mom, are there good bugs to eat? She's like, son, please stop talking about that. Mom, can I eat bugs? She's like, please, no more talking. We are not talking about this at dinner. We'll talk about it later. So they keep on eating dinner, they finish, and after they clean up dinner, the mom goes back to her son and says, son, I know you wanted to talk about something. Do you want to ask me that question now? And he said, well, it's okay. You had a bug in your soup, but it's gone now. You know, sometimes we're not really sure what's going on. Even us adults, there's times where we don't really know the answer. And today we're going to talk about the road to Emmaus, where there were two disciples that didn't know exactly what was going on when Jesus showed up.
On the day that Jesus rose from the dead, two of Jesus' disciples were walking to a village called Emmaus. The two disciples were talking about everything that had happened. As they talked, Jesus came and began to walk with them, but the disciples did not recognize him. Jesus asked the disciples, "What are you talking about?" The disciples stopped walking. They looked sad. One of the disciples, Cleopas, answered, "Are you the only one in Jerusalem who hasn't heard what happened?" "What happened?" Jesus asked. So they told him. Jesus of Nazareth was a prophet. He was powerful when he acted and spoke before God and all the people. The religious leaders handed Jesus over to be sentenced to death, and they nailed him to a cross. We had hoped he was the one who would set Israel free. Besides, it's the third day since these things happened. Early this morning, some women went to the tomb and did not find Jesus' body. They saw angels who said that Jesus is alive. Some of our friends went to the tomb, and they too saw that the tomb was empty. Jesus said, "You are foolish to not believe what the prophet said. Isn't this what had to happen to the Messiah?" Then, beginning with Moses and the prophets, Jesus explained to them what all the scriptures said about him. Jesus and the two disciples arrived at Emmaus, and they asked Jesus to stay with them. So Jesus joined them at the dinner table. He took the bread, thanked God for it, and broke it into pieces. Then he gave the pieces to the disciples. Right away, the men recognized Jesus, but Jesus immediately disappeared from their sight. The two disciples thought about their walk to Emmaus. They said, "When Jesus talked to us on the road and explained the scriptures, didn't our hearts feel like they were on fire?" The disciples immediately left Emmaus and went back to Jerusalem. They found Jesus' 11 disciples and others who gathered with them. They told them what had happened. They said, "Simon saw Jesus too. Jesus is alive." The whole Bible is about Jesus. When Adam and Eve sinned, God began working out his plan to send Jesus to rescue people from sin. All of the Old Testament points forward to Jesus' life, death, and resurrection, the time when Jesus would bring God's promised salvation for sinners.
After hearing about Jesus and his disciples on the road to Emmaus, let's talk about it together as a family. And remember, don't skip praying with God. Wow, I'm sorry, thank you, help, and worshiping right where you are.
Bible is about Jesus. The Bible's about His wonderful name. The Bible is about Jesus. The Bible's about His wonderful grace. The Bible is the Word of God, given to us as a light to guide our way. And Jesus Christ, the Son of God, is the treasure we will find. The Bible is about Jesus. The Bible's about His wonderful name. Christ, the Son of God, is the treasure we will find. Oh, stories long ago in love that we can know. Prophet, priest, and king, it's a map that leads us to one thing. Stories long ago in love that we can know. Prophet, priest, and king, it's a map that leads us to one thing. The Bible is about Jesus. The Bible's about His wonderful name. The Bible is the Word of God, given to us as a light to guide our way. And Jesus Christ, the Son of God, is a treasure we will find. He's the treasure we will find. He's the treasure we will find.
Thank you guys for letting me join you for your family worship time today. And remember, wherever you are sent.